Hi, my name is Elizabeth Stanton, and today I will be giving a TED Talk presentation about the evolution of social media and its impact on society.
What is social media? The definition of social media is websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. Social media is the future of communication, a countless array of internet-based tools and platforms that increase and enhance the sharing of information. Social media is dedicated to community-based input, interaction, content sharing, and collaboration. Traditional forms of social media include areas of freedom of speech and where people can comment and post whatever they please. Social media is amazing in its way where people can transform thoughts into words without being held back. In business, social media can be used to benefit market products, promote brands, and connect customers and foster new businesses. Examples of popular social media sites include, but are certainly not limited to, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Wikipedia, LinkedIn, Reddit, Instagram, Pinterest, and many, many more. Before getting too into social media, we need to go back to the beginning of communication. Yes, I mean the very beginning. Humans have a need to interact. Interacting with friends and family across long distances has been a concern of humans for centuries. Humans rely on communicating to enhance others. Here's a brief insight of communication evolution. In 1792, the telegraph was introduced. These were short messages transmitted along a wire, which were very fast and effective. It functioned by making and breaking an electrical connection. Then, in 1865, the pneumatic post came along. It utilized underground pressure air tubes to carry capsules from one area to another. 1890 and 1891 were two revolutionary years. In 1890, the telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. He worked to transmit sound by electricity, and he designed and patented a practical device for transmitting the human voice by means of electrical current. Then, in 1891, a man by the name of Guglielmo Marconi designed the first wireless mode of communication where messages were delivered by waves instead of wires. It's now known as the radio. Then technology began to really change in the 20th century. In the 1940s, supercomputers were invented. The first digitalized supercomputer was called the ABC, Atanasoff Berry computer. It was designed by Professor John Vincent Atanasoff and was a computer that used vacuum tubes for digital computation. In the 1960s, earliest forms of internet were invented, the first being CompuServe along with primitive forms of email. By the 1970s, networking technology had improved, and by 1979, Usenet allowed users to communicate through a virtual newsletter. Skip ahead to 1997, where 6 Degrees came along. This was where our modern social sites were born. This website enabled users to upload a profile and make friends with other users. It was founded by Andrew Weinrich. Although the site had millions of registered users, because of the lack of people connected to the internet, networks were limited. It was a few years before the internet's infrastructure caught up with the concept of social networks. In the early 2000s, the first blogging sites became popular, such as MySpace, YouTube, Flickr, and LinkedIn. They were all revolutionary to the social media world. And then, in 2006, Facebook and Twitter, which are two of the current most popular sites, were released. Social media sites grow exponentially and are expected to continue to grow as long as humans are alive. Now I'm going to begin by outlining some of social media's positive relevance in society. The outstanding growth of online giants such as Facebook and Twitter reflects on our compelling desire to connect with each other around the world. Social media not only plays a huge role in bringing families and friends together, but also in playing an even bigger role between people and businesses. Customers can tell brands exactly what they want, which businesses can then take to tailor their products of more appeal. These types of discussions used to take days, if not weeks, to figure out, and now only take a matter of minutes. In 2016, we can't go an hour without seeing people on some form of social media. iPhones, iPads, Blackberries, Androids, laptops, and even digital watches. In a crowd of people, it is common to see people on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. The list goes on and on. Nonprofit organizations are especially benefiting by social media for its awareness campaigns as well. Social media has literally redesigned the way that we live our lives, but with that comes its negative consequences. Not everything about social media is good. Easily the largest consequence is the fact that people have lost our basic skill of communicating face to face. Social media sites have allowed us to learn to hide behind our phones and computer screens and give us the impression that we are being social without being social at all. It is not uncommon to enter into a public place, such as a restaurant, and everyone seated together have their heads down with a blue glow lighting up their face. Even in the past 5 years, people have completely changed the way that they go about their day-to-day lives, and they make sure that social media is what their life revolves around. When the American sociologist William Ogburn suggested that social change was occurring in culture and that our world is constantly evolving, he said social change occurs in 4 steps. These 4 steps are known as invention, adjustment, accumulation, and diffusion. These 4 ideas are relevant in the evolution of social media. The invention and adjustments are occurring constantly as new means of interaction are being introduced. Cultural diffusion is the spread of cultural beliefs and social activities from one group to another. The mixing of world cultures through different ethnicities, religions, and nationalities has increased with advanced communication, transportation, and technology. In a way, social media supports this theory, where people can share their proper beliefs, thoughts, and day-to-day lives by simply updating their status. However, when does it become out of control? Many social sites do not have proof checks, and whatever we say can be viewed and interpreted by anyone around the globe. Accumulation is also always occurring. We can build on others' thoughts and ideas and accumulate knowledge about what people might not even know in person. But that is where our perception of reality can be very much altered. Our perception of reality can sometimes be hidden in a box. Take Asina O'Neil, for example. The 19-year-old teen from the Sunshine Coast had it all. She was an Instagram sensation, had nearly 1 million followers on YouTube, was a vegan enthusiast, and a big-time model for large companies such as Brandy Melville. To anyone on the outside, myself included, Asina was the perfect teenage girl, someone I aspired to hopefully be like. She was perfect. Perfect. But was she really? To the outside world, everything Asina had let on about herself was a complete lie. In late October, Asina O'Neil published a YouTube video explaining why social media is fake. It was through Instagram, YouTube, Tumblr, and Twitter where she revealed the truth. It was through a series of Instagram posts where she edited old captions to tell the truth behind the photo, how she was either being paid to advertise a product or how she would Photoshop her body to look picture perfect for her followers' feed. In Asina's final newsletter to her followers, she wrote, "I was lost, with serious problems so beautifully hidden. If anything, my social media addiction, perfectionist personality, and low self-esteem made my career. Over-sexualization, perfect food photos, Perfect travel vlogs. It is textbook how I got famous. Sex sells. People listen to pretty blondes. I just happened to talk about veganism, a trending thing on YouTube. It was so simple for Asina to hide behind the walls that social media can create. She, like so many girls and boys, felt the need to be skinny, perfect, eat expensive food, and travel to exotic destinations, all for the way that they were to be viewed online. The real question is, does it really matter? Social media has evolved from just words to pictures to videos. Teenagers around the globe feel a constant pressure to present themselves as being perfect online. This has led to mental breakdowns, anxiety, eating disorders, and mood swings for people who consume themselves too much in their image. In a way, social media has gone too far, as it is tearing people apart bit by bit. Through means of globalization, our world is slowly being fused into one giant clone. Globalization is defined to be the process of interaction and integration among the people, companies, and governments of different nations, a process driven by international trade and investment and aided by information technology. Despite its benefits, it's damaging the well-being of our world. Interaction and integration among people is the building blocks of what social media is. In the process of our entire globe becoming a world run by websites, we have lost our true identities. It is important to take a step back, check into reality, and realize why we participate in social media, not for others, but for ourselves. From the telegraph in 1792 to the iPhone 6S Plus in 2016, technology has evolved so much. However, like with anything, it comes with its pros and cons. Charles Westmoreland once wrote, "Not everything is as it seems," and this saying should be applied more regularly when people enter their password into the world of social media.